Welcome back. We apologize for that. A little out of whack here. So he's trying to get back into the game since as Will Burns makes his way up. One down. Nothing we're doing for the Glacier Pilots. A really quick inning from Chad Gurney. We're just dealing with the sun here and battling all the elements. And I guess we're a little glad that this is a non-league game, but we'd obviously like it to go smoothly. So we apologize about that. First one to Burns misses off the, or excuse me, it's a called strike on the outer edge. 0-1 misses. One ball, one strike. Peyton Allen still out there. Really sweeping slider he's got as he misses on the outer half. Ground ball, foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Bucs still looking for their first hit. Burns drives this one out to right field, but it hangs up there for Luke Stolga. 2 down here.
Yeah, he hit that one pretty well, unfortunately for him. Not too far from the right fielder, Luke Stolga. Quiet game from both sides offensively so far.
So Adam Inyart bats. Here in the bottom half of the second inning. 2 down. Fouls that one back out of play.
Big gap up the middle. Shortstop playing way towards third base.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of middle infielders try to pinch up the middle, and they've gotten a lot of balls that we thought would be base hits to center field. It just haven't turned out that way. 1 ball, 1 strike to Inyart. We've seen him pitch the other day. Ground ball out to third. Chase Knight. No, excuse me, that's Luke Hefner. A low throw, but a good pick at first, and he is out. Edison Polanco over there, and the umpire had to make sure he grabbed that and hauled that baby in, but he did. So we head to the top half of the third inning. The Pilots coming up to bat, still zeros here in Anchorage. Welcome back here to Mulcahy Stadium, top of the third inning. Here for the play-by-play, Will Hopkins.
Appreciate it, Vic. Apologies again for some of those technical difficulties. First pitch to Logan Sanders is swung on and missed. Still scoreless here in Anchorage, Alaska. A non-league game between the two Anchorage teams. This one bounced up the middle. QZ grabs it and makes the throw across, one away. Seeing Christian Powell out there at second base a good amount, but Nolan QZ gets the start today and makes that play routinely.
Yeah, very solid defender. I've seen QZ also at third base. Started over there at second base for the first game of the season. Now back over there. So love seeing him over there. Christian Powell has been super solid, but good to give QZ an opportunity over there at second base, and we'll see if he back at third base anytime soon. Cade Lacey over there today. We've seen past couple days Ryan Callahan also at third.
Count even now to Troy Sanders, the second of 3 Sanders within 4 batters at the end of this Pilots lineup. Couple Hefner brothers on this roster as well. This one misses now 2-1 from Gurney. Just the one hit allowed so far from Gurney, but then got a nice double play from his infield to erase that. 2-1 the count. Big swing and a miss from Sanders.
Yeah, looking like he tried to send it towards that flagpole out in left field.
Trying to put a run on the board himself. Instead, the count's 2-2. Inside that time.
I got a compliment as I was fixing the camera over there. Some of the guys still think I could do a backflip, but I really appreciate it, guys. I cannot do a backflip.
How big do you think that drop is? As
Yeah.
the 3-2 is bounced on the left side, charging hard as Cade Lacey, and he makes the play across.
And a good job by Lacey. Looked like he kind of bobbled it in the glove, but he had a lot of time and he was charging on the ball, which is just a great play. And he was able to take his time, not rush the throw at all. And even though he was coming in on the play, still a really long throw compared to second or short. So good job just collecting himself and making a good throw in the run.
So now Bo Rico, as that one's way upstairs. And just a reminder, Marcus Sanders on deck as the 10th place hitter for the Pilots, allowed to do that in this Scout Showcase game. 1-0 bounced. So 2-0 to the Pilots catcher. Way outside from Gurney, and with 2 away in danger of a 2-out walk to Bo Rico. (3-0 to Rico. Called strike. He was on his way to first.
Not really sure why. That looked like a fastball right down the middle. You see guys sometimes try and sell it a little bit, and it looked like he tried to do it there.
Way outside. So a 5-pitch walk from Gurney, and Rico does end up taking first base. That brings up the 10th place hitter, Marcus Sanders, with the top of that Pilots order looming. Gurney or whoever's out there for the Bucs in the 4th. We'll hope they don't have to face Backstrom until that inning. Rico at first for Marcus Sanders. Sanders not in the field yet. We'll see if that changes at some point in the game. Swings at the first pitch, and another charging play for Cade Lacey. Gets it on the short hop and makes the throw across. Couple impressive plays from Cade Lacey. Retires the Pilots in the top of the 3rd. We head to the bottom half, still scoreless. throw down to second, and we're ready for the bottom of the third inning. Still Peyton Allen out there on the bump for the Pilots. They'll face 7, 8, and 9 in this Bucs lineup, the first of which is Brett Castillo. Castillo getting the start in left field for the Bucs. Just one hit between the two sides so far. First pitch breaking ball comes in the front door. Beautiful stuff from Allen there.
I keep thinking the PA keeps forgetting to turn off the music, but we got a little concert
Yeah.
going on in the parking lot. And I was telling Will before, I was like, Will, I'm surprised that you're at this game right now because music's just the type of stuff you like to listen to.
Chase Knight, low throw, and that gets by the first baseman, Edison Polanco.
There you go.
Castillo takes a turn and heads to second, slides, but didn't even need to. No throw over there, and a great start to the bottom of the third for the Bucs.
But yeah, Will, if you want to get out of here, please, by all means, it's okay. I will cover this game for you. Go listen to your heavy metal over there in the outfield. Gosh.
You sure do know me, huh, Vic?
Oh, man, that is some, if you're into that stuff for sure, man, that is ear piercing when they get up there at this high levels.
Not sure if y'all can hear that on our lav mic. Cade Lacey steps in. Sidewinder delivers a strike. Not fully sidearm, but certainly not over the top from Peyton Allen. First runner in scoring position we've had in this game, and going with it is the first error of the game. And Bo Rico going to take a chance to speak with Peyton Allen, maybe discuss some sign changes with that runner on second. Certainly would think would have been pleased with that first pitch of this sequence to Lacey. Saw Lacey make a couple of nice plays at third in the top half of this frame. Just a bit outside.
Yeah, Lacey's been hitting the ball pretty hard, just right on a tee out to all these outfielders. He just hasn't found a hole lately. Wow, that is loud.
1-1. Able to find the outside corner that time, just a bit closer than the last pitch.
I turned up the mic for you guys a little bit. It is peaking on my screen. Sheesh. It is not usually that loud.
Swing and a miss from Lacey for the first out of the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Nolan Cusey before things get back to the top for Hunsaker. For Cusey, just 4 at-bats on the season, but part of that's because he's drawn 4 walks, so great job getting on base regardless of fashion for Cusey. Fouls that one straight back.
Yeah, Cusey's still looking for that first big hit, first extra base hit. With Powell over there at second and Callahan the past couple of days, and Lacey mixed in there too at third base. Cusey's kind of been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but it's good to see him back here today and just hoping for a first extra base hit. I know it won't count towards the stats, but I know it'll feel good for him.
Even count now, 1-1, and it's tough to get into this Bucs infield, as you were saying. A lot of talented guys out there vying for just a few spots. Throwback to second, I guess you could say.
It was just like the Kentucky game we were watching. NC State pitcher actually, or was it our? I can't remember now. I think it was that game we were watching.
Yeah,
they threw it overthrew the second baseman, didn't have to throw the ball, and Kentucky, my Wildcats, took an extra base on that. Congrats to them, a big walk-off.
1-1, grounded just foul down the first base line. But yeah, you were explaining that on the spin move, you do have to make that throw to second, and Allen looked like it was a throw that he just had to make and didn't really feel like making it. 3-hopped it to the shortstop Hefner.
But with going up like that, you don't have to throw it on his end. When you spin back the other way and do a back pick like that, he would have to spin towards his glove side. You do have to throw in that instance. But when you pick up that leg and then wheel around, you don't have to throw. But here, I guess he felt the need to just
someone
throw
should
it.
let him know probably.
Yeah. Maybe the rules are different here, but that's how I always grew up playing. When you do that spin move quick like that, you can't fake throw it. You have to throw it.
So still 1-2 after a couple foul balls from the Bucs second baseman. Castillo standing on second, 1 away in the bottom of the third. And here's another foul ball. This one will fly out of play. Cusey putting up a good fight. Like I said, top of the order looms. Hunsaker on deck with Andrew Lamb in the hole.
Looks like Bucs bullpen a little bit busy. Have their next guy sitting down, but he was just warming up over there.
Looking to get the scoring going in the bottom of the third. Cusey just gets a piece of this one, but Bo Rico able to snag it. Couldn't tell from here if that one bounced off the bat of Cusey, but apparently not. So a strikeout for Peyton Allen, the second of the inning.
Man, it sounded like a thud, like it hit the turf, but I guess Bo Rico was just right there with the glove and was able to make the grab. So Cusey's retired, 2 down, and the leadoff error is now looking not so bad for the Pilots.
Yeah, but this one's hit up the middle and through. Castillo gets the wave home. Here he comes. He will score without a throw. The Bucs take the lead in the bottom of the third. It's 1-0.
Just as I said it, maybe some reverse psychology there, but a good hit by Hunsaker as he's able to get Castillo in, and that error does look like it was a big deal now. Castillo most likely would have gone first to third, maybe not even with how shallow that ball was hit. Could have been first and second now with 2 down.
Yep, that ground ball to Chase Knight. Throw was bounced in front of Edison Polanco to start this inning and got all the way to the wall over there by the dugout, and now Hunsaker's in a pickle. Going to take some real skill to get out of this one. He's working at it, but finally the tag is applied by the second baseman, Troy Sanders, but not before the Bucs get the scoring going here at Mulcahy Stadium. 1-0 Bucs. We head to the fourth. New pitcher on for the Bucs. It's Rylan Hyder. Fifth appearance, excuse me. He's already made 4 in regular league play. Scoreless in each of the last 3. Just allowing 1 hit over 4 1/3. June 8th against the Miners, 10th against the Oilers, and 12th against the Chinooks. First pitch swinging is the leadoff hitter for the Pilots, Hunter Backstrom, as that one rolls foul. And great stuff from Gurney going 3 scoreless.
Yeah, looked really good. I'll say it again. Sucks that it's a non-league game and these stats won't go towards them. But just, it's great for the confidence for all these guys, even the hitters too. A couple base hits, build your confidence a little bit, going back right into the swing of things in the non-league games.
Backstrom showing bunt there, pulls away. That pitch missed the zone, so it's 1-1 to the left fielder for the Pilots. Batting leadoff. Had to wait a little extra time with that 10th place hitter. Fouled this one away, and That righty-righty matchup, we normally say that it's super hard for the batters against these sidearm guys. Backstrom a lefty, but even still with that action, obviously would prefer to have the ball coming into you than away from you, but it's coming into you so sharply could still be difficult, as we see right there. Started it way off the plate and broke in there. Backstrom giving up on it, thinking that it's outside, and just like I said, that ball coming in at such a sharp angle it makes it difficult for the hitter.
Yeah, Ryland just went backdoor on Backstrom, and it was a beauty of a slider there. I mean, wow, just I mean that thing moves so much, and you start at middle for a righty, and that thing is ending up on the outer half of the zone. That one started inner, and it started right on the middle of the zone. Even it almost hit him, and it was on the inside part of the plate. I don't. There's the only way you can hit that is if you kind of just guess where it's going to end up.
And then if it stays straight, you look like a fool up there. So Hyder's showing that he can be difficult
Oh,
against righties and lefties. Looked at for the same pitch that time, but just left it a little bit too far inside. But Hyder looking confident out there, and rightfully so. As I was saying, his last 3 outings have been phenomenal.
yeah, and he corrected me. I was calling a good bit of his fastballs changeup. He does not throw the changeup that much. Another great breaking ball. I guess just too far inside. But like I was saying, doesn't throw the changeup as much as I thought he did. But we were agreeing that a lot of his fastballs were kind of low and in to righties and low and away to lefties. So it was, a valid take if you're me. Some of the fastballs looked like he took a little bit off of.
This one gets away from him, and if you haven't been with us on previous broadcasts, Hyder just recently going to that sidearm motion, so still working on the release point, and he said every once in a while, just not going to come out of the hand at the right time. So now 3-1, able to find the zone this time to Marks, and things run full. 1 away in the top of the 4th inning. Bucs lead it 1-0.
Yeah, and Hyder's looked really good. Almost besides that first game, that little hiccup where error scored and a couple dink hits, he's just looked really good as of late.
Gets a ground ball off the mound to Cusey. Going to have to make a quick play, and unfortunately just unable to get the ball out of his glove.
Yeah, that one was tough. Even if he does, it's gonna be a bang bang play. Probably have him. But yeah, that ball's just he saw it get stuck in Lacey's glove and there for Nolan Cusey. It's a tough play because you're at second base, and you know how easy the throw is.
Yeah.
But you're also still charging, so you bobble the ball, and good job by Cade Lacey on the last one. He bobbled the ball, could have easily rushed the throw, but he didn't. And for Hyder, he's looked really good. The one thing has just been just trying to get that 1-2-3 inning. But obviously, you got to be pretty perfect to do that. A strike on the outer half. But like I was saying, if anything for Hyder, I know he's just working on having a clean inning, just 1-2-3. Has given up a walk or two. The runs have not been a problem for him at all. It's been just a couple of dink hits or a walk here and there. But he's looked just perfect, and that last one not really on him.
0-1 fouled away as Marks had bluffed taking second base over there from first. 0-2, Hefner falls behind. And unfortunately for Cusey, that ball just hit so slowly that once he bobbled it, didn't have enough time.
Yeah. And a lot of times, harder hit balls usually get stuck in the glove like that.
Pitch out this time, throw over to first, and back in safely as Marks. But it seems like you like the idea that time from the Bucs.
Yeah, a really good idea. You could see that it wasn't the runner wasn't trying to go. Excuse me, that was Marks over there at first. Runner wasn't trying to go, but he was taking a huge secondary and might have thought about a delayed steal.
Now he's going. Pitches hit out to third. Lacey's only going to have one play, and it's at first. And now Marks is headed for third. Throw to Lacey gets away. Hope everyone's all right over there, as the slide from Marks took out the legs of Lacey. Bucs are able to record the out, but some heads-up base running from Dylan Marks that time.
Yeah, huge heads-up play. Can't blame Burns because Burns has to be closer to the second base bag, and Cade Lacey was obviously making the play. Maybe Hyder could have gotten out there, but that's a tough one to see. And it's just a tough play to make. Even if Hyder does have the awareness, odds are he's not getting back fast enough.
This one's hit high out to left. Going back is the left fielder, and he will have room. So the Bucs are able to retire this side after the one infield hit, and we head to the bottom of the 4th. Bucs still leading 1-0. Andrew Lamb up to the plate for the Bucs, who have a one-run lead through 3.5. Reminder, just 7 innings today with this Scout Showcase game, and we will play the full 7 even if the Bucs are up through 6.5. Called strike from Allen, who's still out there for his 4th inning of work. Wow, just the one run so far, and not entirely his fault after his defense let him down a little bit. Now 1-1 to the Bucs catcher.
Yeah, and it's really good that Lamb is such a utility guy like that. Always good, you need 2 catchers. You can't always run with one, but it's always great to have that third guy in there too. And Lamb provides that, and we've seen him play in the outfield, we've seen him play in the infield, and just a really good job by him.
Yeah, we've seen him all over for the Bucs lately. Behind the plate a decent amount. Seems like he and Brody Briggs almost platooning. And interestingly enough, both of them left-handed hitters. This one's pulled down the right field line, and that's going to be a fair ball. Andrew Lamb rounds first. He's headed for second to throw in from Stolga. Gets cut off, and it's a stand-up leadoff double for Andrew Lamb.
Yep, just what the Bucs needed. And now with a chance to take the lead, you just need a base hit here from Carlone. He's done a good job of hitting it opposite field, and you would love to see him go opposite field right here, and maybe a looping line drive, something not hard enough hit, and go back in left field is Hunter Backstrom. He's pretty far back there actually for Cole Carlone.
Hefner at short, holding off the runner at second, and Andrew Lamb. So that increases the size of the hole over there for Carlone as the first pitch misses, and even on that ground out in the first inning, hit it over that way. Exactly the man you'd want at the plate if you're the Bucs. Second consecutive inning, the leadoff man getting over to second base, this time via double rather than error.
And it's an interesting shift they got going on because Hunter Backstrom in left field is way back. I'm wondering if that's because a lot of Carlone's base hits, that home run was actually hit to left center field. But then again, the right fielder, Luke Stolga, is super shallow.
This one hit right up the middle, and it's going to bounce in front of the center fielder, Logan Sanders. Smart play by him, though, as Lamb gets the stop sign. Carlone over to second, and now they might have Lamb in a pickle, and they do. Carlone headed for third. Lamb trying to get around the tag. He is out for the first out. Carlone ends up at third in what was a crazy play. Logan Sanders bluffed like he was going to catch the ball to keep Lamb from getting a head start over to third and maybe making the turnaround home. And then Carlone with some heads up base running, and then Lamb getting a little greedy out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I could see the reason why you'd want to go home on that play, but you just got to be aware that a pump fake is super in play, and these guys like to do. And I was wondering if we'd see one with all these rundowns we've been having as of late. I was wondering if we see a pump fake like that, and we do. And that was a great decision to do that, and a good job by Carlone going to second on that play. You could have had second and third, nobody out, but a good job by Carlone getting all the way to third, and now you have the first run of the game standing 90 feet away.
Oh, great catch by Hefner, though. They don't double up Carlone over there, but the infield had come in for Eisenstadt with a runner on third and one out, and Hefner makes the leaping grab on a nicely hit ball by Eisenstadt.
Yeah, and if that one, if Hefner is back in his normal position, he definitely makes the play, but I don't know if he catches it on the fly, and if Carlone is going on contact, he could have been safe at home. But like we said, with that precious run over there at third, infield is most likely, most definitely going to be playing in on the grass, and they were. And just lucky enough that that ball wasn't hit over the head of Hefner, or this game would have been at 1-0 Bucs, or 2-0 Bucs, excuse me.
So now Will Burns at the plate, 1-0 count to him. Swings at this one and grounds it on the left side. Hefner scoops it up, and a good pick over there by Edison Polanco. So the leadoff double is left stranded for the Bucs, unable to add on to that one-run lead. We head to the fifth, still 1-0 Bucs. Hyder back out for the Bucs for his second inning of work. Scoreless top of the fourth for him. 1-0 the Bucs lead it in this Scout Showcase game against the rival Glacier Pilots. Chase Knight to the plate. Hyder shaking off Lamb, and now they agree on something. Missing just a bit low, but looked like Hyder going with another one of those sliders.
He's looked really good. He's putting it exactly where he wants to, going back door, going front door. Any door, he is going through it.
Fouled away by Knight, and there you see it. All of his pitches, even the straight ones, they're still bearing in on those lefties, and it seemed like Knight hit that one off the hands foul. Such a tough matchup coming from that arm slot. Missing outside that time.
I wonder how distracting these camo jerseys are. There's a lot of things going on in the jersey.
I thought you were going to say the music.
Oh, well, that
This
is very
concert
distracting. I feel
beyond
like I
left
can hear
field
through the
could be-
headphones more, too.
Could be distracting as well. 2-1 swung on and missed. Maybe tipped into the mitt of Andrew Lamb from Chase Knight, but a strike either way. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, it is louder with the headsets on. I guess maybe the radio over there is picking it up, too.
2-2 gets away, so full count on the way to Chase Knight. After him, it'll be the first baseman Edison Polanco and then the center fielder Logan Sanders, who we saw make that little bluff play in center field in the fourth. And he loses him. So Knight with a leadoff walk. Hyder could really use a ground ball here against Polanco.
Yeah, we talked. Hyder's done a great job, and like I said, just that only thing is the one or two walks that he gives up in an outing. Even if he comes in for one inning, just focusing on that 1-2-3, 1-2-3 frame because he has the stuff to do it. He looks super sharp, and just once he falls behind in the count, just struggles just a little bit. But he's looked really good. And there's your ground ball.
There's the ground ball to Cusey. Over to second for one. On to first. Double play. Cusey to Burns to Eisenstadt. And just like that, the leadoff walk is eliminated.
Yeah, and that's why he's looked so good. Is because he might give up a walk in one inning, or if he comes on for 2 innings, gives up a walk or two, but he erases it so quickly. He's we have stats for him, but we don't have full stats for him, especially that first game that we played. But the first game we ran into a little bit of trouble. He's looked really good and hasn't given up many runs this year. And once he has given up, they've been really dinky base hits that haven't gone his way.
So now Logan Sanders takes a strike, and we talked about it at the top of the broadcast. These Pilots just struggling to score right now, and we've seen a continuation of that today. Just a couple of hits and a couple of double plays have made those hits all for naught.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just this outing from Hyder, but it seems like he's using that slider even more than the fastball. He's throwing that almost every pitch, it seems like.
And inducing a lot of ground balls, regardless of the pitch he's throwing. There's another slider fouled away.
And keep going back to it. He's got a perfect command for it. Even if the hitters know it's coming, it doesn't seem like they can really catch up to it.
And even when they have made contact, it hasn't been very hard at all.
Yeah, he's getting the ground ball he needs, and a lot of these pitches, he's just hitting corners. Inside, outside, up and down. He looks really sharp tonight.
1-2 bounced up there to Sanders. If he's able to reach, his brother Troy will be next to bat. Logan, Troy, and Marcus all in the lineup today. Not all of them playing the field, with Marcus in that 10th spot for the Pilots in this Scout Showcase game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That one way inside.
Yeah, another 3-2 count here. He got into a 3-ball count in the first at bat, and he walked that batter. But here, let's see him try to get out of this 3-ball, 2-strike count.
This one's grounded over to third and through the infield. Making a big turnaround first is Logan Sanders. He's on his way to second. Throw's going to be cut off, and it's a 2-out double for Logan Sanders with his brother Troy coming up now.
And I like that. Hyder challenged him. He got the ball on the ground. Unfortunately, he was just hitting that hole. Cade Lacey playing pretty far off the bag. I'm sure the scouting report says so. And just another base hit where it's not hit super hard, but it's just put in the right spot. And it's just unfortunate for Hyder, who's looked really good because he's challenging these hitters. He's not trying to pitch around them. Even though he gave up that walk to the first batter, he's doing a really good job. And I think he's just not getting lucky with where some of these balls are being hit.
Everything's been on the ground, which is encouraging, as is this bunt. Hyder fields it, and a low throw gets past the first baseman, Eisenstadt. Logan Sanders will come around to score. And in safely to second base is Troy Sanders as Rylan Hyder unable to field his position that time.
Yeah, unfortunate. A really good bunt and a really good drag bunt over there. But just, that was, yeah, by Troy Sanders. Really good. But for Hyder, just an awkward play. Almost had to flip it sidearm. Didn't really have the angle to go underhand. Didn't have the angle to go overhand, really. And kind of had to sidearm it. I know he's a sidearm pitcher, but it's a totally different short sidearm that he has to do, and he just rushed it a little bit.
Seemed like a bit of an awkward play as a swing and a miss from Bo Rico. And I think Hyder's problem that time was he was worried about that throw hitting Troy Sanders as the ball kind of took Hyder towards the first base line.
Yeah, definitely don't want to hit him, but you'd rather hit him than throw it away because the balls most likely stay there on the infield and not induce that runner to score. But just unfortunate for Hyder, a good pitch, and didn't really expect the bunt, and it was really perfectly placed, made an awkward play. And Hyder, yeah, maybe should have not rushed it so fast, but that might have been the only play. And next time, maybe puts in his back pocket. But stuff like that's so in between, you have
Yeah,
to throw the ball almost.
split second decision for sure. Rico down to his last strike quickly, and we saw bunts hurt the Bucs against the Oilers. Hopefully not a sign of things to come the rest of this one against the Pilots. Runner on second, 2 away. This one's hit out to left, and it'll hang up for Brett Castillo for the third out. But the Pilots are able to tie things up after the error from Hayter. We head to the bottom of the fifth. Bucs looking to retake the lead. Bottom of the fifth inning, Anchorage, Alaska, and time running out for both teams in this tie ball game. We're playing 7 innings regardless of score, so if one of these teams wants to come out on top, going to need a run or two in these next few innings. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 for the Bucs, Enyart, Castillo, and Lacey. Peyton Allen still out there for the Pilots. First pitch swinging is Enyart. Hefner's got it, pats his glove a couple of times, and makes the quick out number 1. But yesterday with the minors, we saw them giving these scouts a lot to look at on the mound, and not the case for the Pilots today.
Yeah, a little interesting, to be honest with you. He's in here in the fifth inning, and for Scout Showcase, you'd think that they'd want to empty out a lot of arms. They do have a pretty light pitching staff, to be honest. They could have pitched a lot of guys yesterday, might want to pitch a lot of guys tomorrow. But you'd think that with a light pitching staff, that they would want to get guys maybe a couple innings this week rather than just 1 inning. So not really sure what the deal is there, and I can't see over there in the Bucs bullpen, but it doesn't really look very busy.
This one fouled straight back off the hands of Castillo, and I don't see anything going on in that Pilots bullpen down the first base line, at least from this angle.
We do not, because these are league games, we don't have the stats from yesterday, so we don't know how many pitchers they used. But like I said, a shorter list of pitchers than the Bucs and most other teams do. So maybe they used a lot of guys yesterday and don't really have a lot of options to go to today.
1-2 pitch. Check swing. No appeal, and they
Yeah,
say it missed the zone. Forget the swing. It was a close pitch regardless.
yeah. Bucs might have stole one there. That looked right on the outer half of the plate, and with the frame, it looked right over the plate. Of course, it definitely wasn't right over the middle, but that was really close.
This time it's inside, so despite the best efforts from Peyton Allen and Bo Rico to frame these pitches, 2 straight balls. Fouled away. A full count to the Bucs left fielder recorded the final out in the top of this 5th inning. And this one's outside, so great at bat from Castillo, laying off some really close pitches, and man's aboard for the Bucs.
Yeah, and I think Peyton Allen is a little bit confused at how some of those were not called strikes, as he smiles back at his dugout there. So unfortunate for him, but good for the Bucs, and hopefully they can turn a one-out walk into another run and get the lead back here.
Brings up Cade Lacey. Lacey struck out his first time to the plate. Castillo slides back safely.
Like I said, Lacey been hitting the ball really hard, but he just hasn't found many holes, and has just been really unlucky. So you'd love to see him connect here.
Called a strike. We've seen Castillo pitch some this season, getting a spot in the lineup and playing the field today over there at first. Cade Lacey playing over at third at the plate right now. Looks at an off-speed pitch that finds the zone, falls behind 0-2 with Nolan Cusey, the 9th place hitter, waiting on deck. Another throw over to first, and Castillo in there safely.
Yeah, down 2 strikes here. Just got to fight to stay alive. See if you can poke something through and find a hole. Now you're just swinging for contact here.
Lays off that one.
Peyton Allen looks like a slider, but he has a really good breaking ball, or I guess I'm just gonna call it a slider because it really looks like a slider.
Like a slider
Yeah,
to me.
Obviously slider and curveballs get more and more similar now. Slurve is a thing too.
Strike 3 called. Lacey not sure if he's unhappy with the call or unhappy with himself. Painting the outside corner that time is Allen for the second out of the inning.
Pretty sure he was upset at himself. Kind of looked back and just gave the look up, like, man, I should have had or should have put a good swing together on that ball.
So now Nolan Cusey, the last hope for the Bucs in the bottom of the 5th. Tie ball game, and it could end that way. The game right before us did. Both these teams will want to take the win, and even though it doesn't go towards the official schedule or the official standings, the Bucs on a bit of a streak. 5 straight league wins before winning against the local All-Stars, and then winning yesterday's game in their first Scout Showcase game. So would love to keep the winning ways rolling as they finish up the Scout Showcase tomorrow before heading back into league play on Tuesday. Bucs sitting atop the ABL standings. Throw over to first, and Castillo hadn't even taken his lead yet. I'm not sure what they were looking to get. He didn't have to move at all. His left foot was still on first base.
I think he was just going to throw over to throw over.
Well, this one's hit hard out to right. Base hit for Cusey. Castillo, big turn around second, but then thinks better of it. But 2 men aboard now for the Bucs with 2 away.
Yeah, good decision. He finally looked at Sanagorski, the third base coach, at the last second, who was giving him a big stop sign, and that throw wasn't wasn't a lot on it, or wasn't that much on it from Luke Stolga out in right field, but with the cut man right over there in between second and third, he could have easily got it and flipped it and gotten Castillo even with the cut over there. As it looks like the pitching coach for the Glacier Pilots will make a mound visit.
big spot in this ball game. Remember playing just 7 innings, so bottom of the fifth, much later than it would normally be. Hunsaker to the plate for the Bucs, who has the Bucs' lone RBI so far. Knocked in Brett Castillo in the third inning. Would love to do that again with Castillo standing at second, Cusey at first. 2 outs. Both of them will be off with the crack of the bat. Still Peyton Allen's ball game. Bottom of the fifth inning. Only pitcher used so far for the Pilots.
Yeah, and it looks like they've got an arm up now. I'm looking at a lefty, I believe, over there in the bullpen for the Glacier Pilots. Can't totally see with our obstructed view, but they do have someone getting ready.
First pitch is called a strike. Looks like that might be number 27, Mac Zawistowski, who was on this Pilots roster last year as well, playing his college ball in Chaminade. 0-1 misses. Talked about Hawaii a couple days ago
Yep.
in that matchup against the Chinooks. Chaminade famous for often being declared the hosts of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational over in Hawaii. So the 1-1 to Hunsaker is bounced right in front of home plate. Sanders has to charge it. Underhand tosses to first in time. A couple of Bucs left, stranded after 5. We're still all knotted up. 1-1 as we head to the final 2 frames. Top of the 6th inning, Mulcahy Stadium. Bucs and Glacier Pilots all knotted up at 1, and for the play-by-play of the last couple of innings here, Vic Maslia.
Thank you, Will. Glad we got everything figured out on our side for the last couple of frames. A new pitcher on for the Bucs. It's going to be Jeremiah Arnett. He's played in 3 games, Will, and he's looked up pretty good so far.
Yeah, no runs allowed in those 3 games. He's pitched a total of 6 2/3 innings across 3 outings, 6 hits so far, but like I said, nothing scratching home plate. Big guy, 6'4", 225 out of Waco, Texas. You know what they say, everything's bigger in Texas, right?
Heck yeah, excuse me.
As a freshman at Wichita State. 14 2/3 innings for Arnett, a 4.91 ERA, 11 appearances, 10 of them out of the pen, 8 strikeouts and 12 walks.
I feel like it was justifiable, my accident there. And it's actually funny I said that because with the live chat, we hope you're using it. We see some of you guys using it right now. We appreciate it. We had to make it not for kids. That was a little awkward, so I'm glad we did that based off of my little slip up there. But it could have been worse. So Jeremiah Arnett, let's hope he doesn't slip up. Hasn't given up a run yet in his 3 appearances, and he pitches that one outside for ball 1.
And we appreciate those of you utilizing the chat. You have y'all staying up pretty late over on the East Coast. Earlier start for you tomorrow, though.
1-0 is grounded out to third. Cade Lacey bobbles but collects, and out number 1.
Yeah, we've seen a couple bobbles from Lacey today, but he's recovered both times and pretty sure-handed third baseman for the Bucs and had plenty of time on that one to get it over to Eisenstadt.
So Bo Rico is retired on a ground ball to third. That will bring up the top of the order and Hunter Backstrom.
That was Marcus Sanders, actually.
Oh,
The
excuse
10th
me.
place hitter. Can't forget about the 10th place hitter.
Right. You're super right about that. Now a bunt laid down. Cade Lacey got to make a tough play. Here comes a throw. It is not in time. Lacey did everything he could to make that play, but unfortunately, beating out the wrap is Hunter Backstrom. And yes, thank you for the correction. The Sanders brother was over. He's the first batter of this inning who grounded out 5-3.
And I was going to word it the exact way you did. Cade Lacey did everything he could there, got to that ball quickly, threw a perfect strike over to Eisenstadt, but Backstrom just too fast.
So an infield hit for Backstrom means Dylan Marks will bat, but a chance to face the minimum if Arnett can get a ground ball. He checks back to first, nothing doing.
And that's been the best source of offense for the Pilots, just getting one down right in front of home plate and seeing what the Bucs can do with it.
First offering misses upstairs.
Marks, one of 3 hits for the Pilots so far. It might be 4. The scoreboard here says 3, but I believe that might be 4. Regardless, not a ton of hits on either side. 5 for the Bucs.
Arnett checks back over to first, but Backstrom's in there no problem. Sun's poking back out here. Beautiful day in Anchorage, but those cloudy skies, those dark clouds are rolling in here. Backstrom goes, and this one is crushed out to left field. Castillo retreating back to the warning track, and that one is over his head and at the wall. Backstrom now getting the green light. Here comes the throw. It goes past Will Burns. Cusey gets it in a high throw over the mound. The throw to third base. He is safe as he gets around the tag. Wow, what a job by Dylan Marks as he revs the engine over there at third base. An RBI triple as he just slides around the tag applied by Cade Lacey.
And just not an ideal relay from the Bucs that time. Great job by Arnett backing up the play at home, though. Made a great throw over to third, just a tad late, but like we mentioned, just 7 innings today, so that run huge for the Pilots in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and a good job by Cusey backing up Will Burns, who is the intended cutoff man. With that ball so far back, it could have been a double cut, and it went over Burns, and Cusey was able to make the play. As this one's popped up on the infield, Tommy Eisenstadt calls everyone off and makes the play for out number 2.
Eifner a little bit disappointed in himself. Not got it up in the air, but nowhere near deep enough, obviously, to bring home the runner from third.
Yeah, and a better throw maybe could have been a bang-bang play from Nolan Cusey to home, but likely the runner Backstrom would have scored either way.
Backstrom had taken a super wide turnaround third, though, so might have had a chance.
Yeah, and he had to hold up there and wait for the ball to get over Castillo's head, even though he was going. 1 ball, no strikes. The batter is Luke Stolga. Big swing and miss at that. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, you knew you'd have to score 1 run at least to win the game, so now might as well score 2 if you're the Bucs.
Yeah, I don't think these players are looking for the tie. They want to bring home another W.
No matter if it counts or not. 1 ball, 1 strike was fouled back.
Looking towards the bottom of this inning, Bucs will have top part of their lineup 2, 3, and 4. So hopefully, if Arnett can just leave it at 1 run, Bucs can get something going in response.
1-2. Breaking ball, cold strike 3. Waited a little bit to call that one, but no problem. But the Pilots do get 1, and they make it a 2-1 game thanks to the RBI triple from Dylan Marks that scores Hunter Backstrom. So 2-1 Pilots lead. We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Just 6 outs left for the Bucs. Welcome back. 2-1 game now after the Pilots took the lead in the top half of this inning. The Bucs just 6 outs left as we're here in the bottom half of the sixth. New pitcher on. It's Matt Zawistowski. Will, what do we know about him?
3 games played, or appearances, I should say, already in ABL play. Worked up by an inning each time. So 1 inning in his first appearance, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. Did face off against the Bucs back on June 9th. As that pitch is called a strike. And in that game, he pitched the 7th and the 8th innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. So pretty calm couple of innings for Zawistowski, but Bucs got to get something done quickly here.
Andrew Lamb is the batter, and he grounds this one out to short. Luke Hefner deep in the hole, makes a strong throw and no bobbled. And safe at first is Andrew Lamb, so the Bucs have the leadoff guy on, and that was a tough play for Hefner, and he had to go deep in the hole to make that play, and a fast runner and Lamb. Not the best throw, but could have been picked out by Edison Polanco. I don't know if that's Edison Polanco over there.
Yeah, it looks like they've made a substitution. We'll try
I think
to.
it might be Jake Dodge. I know he's been their third baseman a lot. Yeah, Polanco 32. Looks like a 2 in front of that first baseman. I'm pretty sure Jake Dodge. We'll go with that for now, though. 0-1's a bit upstairs. Cole Carlone, the batter now. Looking to add on to the momentum started by Andrew Lamb after his leadoff base hit.
Yeah, that is Jake Dodge over there at first, number 26.
So Jake Dodge having some trouble picking that ball, but it was a tough play nonetheless, and not the best throw, but a tough play for Hefner nonetheless, so really can't blame all parties. Just a ball hit really well by Lamb in the right spot.
Yeah, impressive by Hefner to get to it, backhanded it, maybe even overran it a little bit.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Carlone. Minding you, he pitched yesterday and did really well. Scoreless 4 frames, I believe. Maybe 3. Remember, we do not have the stats for these non-league games. Nobody's keeping score. I've tried my best to keep score in the scorebook. Today, went a little haywire, but yesterday I had it down pretty well. I would flip back, but I'd just lose track completely. 2 balls, 2 strikes still to Cole Carlone. Zawistowski takes a look at first. Going is Lamb. Pitch is swung on and missed. The throw down is not in time and a little bit towards the third base side of second. And that was a 2-1 count for Cole Carlone. So now a 2-2 count with Andrew Lamb standing at second base. So we must have had it wrong up here, but I was for sure it was 2-2. I think the scoreboard also.
Yeah, they had it as 2 strikes as well.
Yeah.
So.
I think they flipped it back just at the last second, but yeah, we both had it messed up. But another chance for Carlone, at least in our eyes, another chance for him. Now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out, here it is, and it's a called strike 3, and Carlone, never one to really give any lip to the home plate umpire, tilts his head back and gives a look over there, and that one looked off the plate, Will.
Yeah, from here, obviously not the perfect angle, but pretty similar to what y'all are looking at home. Thought that was a bit outside.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Carlone, but for all we know, there had already been 3 strikes.
Yeah. So Carlone doesn't catch the break. It's a strikeout looking, and it'll bring up Tommy Eisenstadt, the first baseman. Still that runner aboard at second, and Andrew Lamb as that ball floats upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Bucs need to get something going here. Just a 7-inning game today, and Lamb on second. Would love to get him in.
The lefty comes set right above the belt. 1-0 is roped into center field. Could get down, but it won't. It'll hang up for Logan Sanders, who makes the grab, no problem. And that one, another hard hit ball by Eisenstadt. He just lifted a little too far up in the air, but not a bad hit at all. And the thing about it is Logan Sanders pretty shallow in on that infield.
Tough luck that time. Barreled that one up and just unable to find a spot in the outfield.
So Will Burns with 2 down now. Momentum slowly winding down for the Bucs, but this is the right guy you want up. Check swing. It's a called strike anyways. Burns hitting .210 at Texas Tech, but that was up from his first year there. Was hitting under the Mendoza line. That is tough baseball to play out there. Takes another call, or took a ball there, excuse me. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lamb dancing around there at second, trying to cause some havoc for the pitcher.
You talked about Will Burns playing baseball at Texas Tech, also the third string quarterback for the Red Raiders. Dual sport athlete at that high of a level, really impressive.
Yeah, sure is. 2-1 count. Here it is. Swung on and missed.
And we were looking at a video on his Instagram
Right.
page with the football team out at either the baseball field or the softball field.
Softball, because he was cranking it.
He was
I mean, not that he
showing
went
off
at a baseball field, but
he was showing off his skills from the right side and then showed them what he could do from the left side, hitting one over the wall there too.
2-2 is just a bit upstairs, and I think even though his fellow teammates knew that he played baseball too, I think they were all still shocked to see him just hit every single ball out. Because remember, it's a softball field, and you know he's still a metal bat, and even with the softball, he's bound to hit pretty much everyone off. And it was BP too. It wasn't like real pitching. As that one skied in the air towards right field. Stolga drifts back to the warning track and just has enough room as Will Burns gave that one a long ride, but not long enough. So unfortunately for the Bucs, the Pilots work out of a leadoff base hit. 1 hit, no runs, no errors. 1 left. We head to the top half of the 7th inning here in Anchorage. Welcome back here to Anchorage. Still a 2-1 lead for the Glacier Pilots. Time running out for these Bucs bats. But for now, the Pilots trying to add some more insurance on. And the new pitcher, the righty Brody Purcell. We've seen him a lot as of late, Will.
Brody Purcell's become a real workhorse for this Bucs staff. Has made 3 appearances in league play, picking up a win, 4 innings pitched, couple of strikeouts, just 1 run across 4 innings of work. So definitely someone that the Bucs are confident in putting out there. And I think with this non-league play, he's been pitching every couple of days and just want to keep that going so that when he comes back out there in league play, he'll be ready to go and on similar rest to what he's been having.
He'll have to go through. So I get my scorecard flipped up here. Chase Knight, Edison Polanco, which is now Jake Dodge, and then Logan Sanders. So Dodge coming in for Polanco, but Chase Knight, Logan Sanders, we believe, are still the same. Fouled back for the first offering to Chase Knight, the third baseman.
And for the Bucs, even though this game doesn't count towards the standings, don't want to see that win streak come to an end, and certainly not at the hands of the Pilots.
No, not at all. Oh, one's fouled back out of play.
Something about these Pilots, man. We talked about it before opening day. The Bucs really struggled against the Pilots last year. Already picking up the first win this year, but don't want to have things going on in the few players' minds that were here last year.
0-2 swung on and missed and made Chase Knight look a little silly there on that pitch.
Looked like he was swinging a garden hose out there.
So it still is
Yeah.
Edison Polanco.
Again, the scout showcase game.
Yeah,
Little little free substitutions all over.
wondering what that means for Dylan Marks, who's the designated hitter, if Jake Dodge would take his place instead.
Maybe they'll bat 11.
Maybe, yeah, shoot, get everyone involved. I guess it doesn't really matter how many. I mean, in a real game, of course, you're not supposed to do that, but it doesn't really give you an advantage, I would
If
say.
anything, a disadvantage. Your
Yeah,
top hitters aren't going to the plate as often.
yeah, yeah, and you got guys that haven't, hit all day, and yeah, you take BP, but it's different from, live pitching. So Edison Polanco, still batting, takes a big swing and miss at that. Brody Purcell looks pretty sharp. 1-2 is the count. You love a quick inning here, get the bats right back up, a chance to walk it off, I guess, in the seventh.
Yep.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, here it is, and it floats upstairs. Be interesting to see a walk-off in a seventh inning game like that. Be interested to see how they celebrate, given that it's a non-league game. 2-2 swung on and missed. Purcell with back-to-back swinging strikeouts as he looks really good to start.
Yeah, he looks fantastic, and haven't seen a ton of strikeouts from him prior to today, but showing that he can get it done in a multitude of ways. And would love to see him strike out the side here with Logan Sanders.
Sanders, the center fielder, has made some good plays out there.
Whew.
And he swings and misses at that one.
The bat head was nowhere near that baseball. He was kind of backing out of the box as he swung, and the pitch was outside.
Yeah, just way ahead of these guys. Purcell looks really sharp. Next one, right down A Street. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here. Purcell looking to strike out the side if he can. Whitey looks in, pitching out of the windup. Modified windup. Here it is. Swung on and missed. Got him, strike 3, and Purcell strikes out the side swinging. 1-2-3 go the Pilots here in the top half of the seventh. Well, 2-1 lead for Anchorage Glacier Pilots, not the Bucs. So with the Bucs bats coming back up, looking to walk it off or at least tie this one up and send it to overtime, as they call it here. I'm not sure about that, but we head to the bottom half of the seventh. Still 2-1 here in Anchorage. Welcome back here to Mulcahy Stadium. Still a 2-1 lead for the Glacier Pilots. Last half inning, Brody Purcell striking out the side looks super good. And now Dylan Marks moves from the designated hitter spot and is now on the mound. So that means Jake Dodge takes his place hitting wise. And over to third base, Marcus Sanders takes over for Chase Knight.
Yeah, a lot going on, a lot to sort through, but Marcus Sanders as that one swung on and missed, who's been hitting all day in that 10th spot that we've talked so much about, now gets a chance to play the field in the final frame.
And Adam Inyard is the batter for the Bucs here with just 3 outs left. And even though it's a non-league game, it's been a good bit since these Bucs lost. And well, last time they lost is now a ground ball here, just short. Luke Hefner ranging over, and the pick not made by Jake Dodge at first base. And Dodge saying that the ball was in his glove, but for sure.
So he did bobble it, but his argument was that he regained it before the batter in Enyart reached first base. In all honesty, I think it was a close play, but I think Enyart just beat it out. So it was a bobble by Dodge, but he kind of like popped it up in the air to himself and then snagged it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he got his man Inyard, who is not the fastest down the line, but he got there pretty quick. The next one is skied, foul play, and ranging over Jake Dodge, but that one is in the seats. So out of play over there. It's out of my view. Brett Castillo is the batter. That's another play that Dodge couldn't pick, but these have been really tough balls that Luke Hefner have been giving to him.
Yeah, whoever's been at first base, whether it's been Dodge or Polanco, they've had their hands full. And Bucs hopefully can take advantage here in the 7th.
0-1's a called strike, and as I was saying, it's been a long time since the Bucs lost, but the last time was against these Glacier Pilots right here.
Opening day. Modified opening day after a rain out on what was supposed to be opening day.
No balls, 2 strikes, and the throw back to first. And I wish you guys could see, but over there in our dugout, the Bucs dugout, it looks like Wyatt Halverson is assuming every single hat to put on his head as a rally cap here in the bottom half of the 7th. And everyone's got their hats off and are giving it to him as that ball floats inside. You can see Dew next to him as well. Eli Lipinski, Max Ross.
I see 1 or 2 hats in the dugout. Have they not gotten the memo?
I don't think they have. I think Will Burns over there might need to cough his up. Popped him up into right field. Luke Stolga is there, no problem. 1 down here in the 7th. Just two outs to work with for the Bucs. It'll be Cade Lacey, and then after him, Nolan Cusey if we get that far. Of course, that runner on first base. But a big rally cap going here. Halverson's trying to will the Bucs to another victory.
Lacey struck out looking his last time to the plate. Would love to at least get Enyart into scoring position.
Go back to first, but Inyard is in there safely.
And as far as we're aware, if the Bucs do tie this game up, there will be no extras in this 7-inning Scout Showcase game, so
yes.
It'd end in a tie.
Sorry about that. Was really hoping for extras if the Bucs can't pull out a win here, as Cade Lacey takes that for a strike. But you got a runner on, and the winning run at the plate. Might as well get a little greedy here. Mark's ready. The pitch. Hit into center field. Sanders giving chase. That one is overhead, and it goes to the wall. Adam Inyard now taking a big turnaround third. They're going to send him. Here comes the throw from the outfield. It's going to be not in time as Adam Inyard scores standing up on the stand-up triple by Cade Lacey, and he's finally got one. We said it. He's been hitting that ball hard all season long and finally finds a gap, and Cade Lacey really deserved that one, Will.
He hit that ball super hard out there, and we've seen these outfielders here at Mulcahy and across the league playing shallowly. Logan Sanders playing shallowly that time, unable to cut it off, gets all the way to the wall, and scoring easily with Adam Inyard on the double.
And now Nolan Cusey bats as he takes that upstairs, and this game is totally flipped on its head. You had one down, a runner at first, a double play opportunity, and you're down by 1 run. And now with the double, you got a runner in scoring position, and that is the winning run over there. So Nolan Cusey, a base hit, should do it. But that one floats out upstairs.
And the Bucs got a little lucky on that one because Enyard had to wait just a little bit to make sure it wasn't caught by Sanders, but the ball hit so hard and so far over the head of Sanders, still didn't have any problems touching home plate.
And a lot of carry to that ball. It didn't come down for a long time, so he had plenty of time as this one skied into center field, but playable for Sanders. And it will be no tag up from Cade Lacey, a wise decision. Now 2 down.
Sanders is a trickster out there. We saw him bluff catching a ball earlier. That time he put his palms up like he couldn't find it in the sun. He was right under it, had it the whole time. Luckily for the Bucs, Cade Lacey wasn't biting.
And Sanders did everything he could to track down that ball and try to make a play at the plate, but In yard just too fast getting around the bases. A really good read after he knew it was getting down. He didn't stop at all. So the batter now is Hunsaker, back to the top of the order. Winning run in scoring position and a slow breaking ball and an even slower swing from Hunsaker as he realized it, but he couldn't slow the bat down far enough.
Yeah, I think at first his eyes lit up with that one, but came up empty.
So the rally cap, at least working to get this game tied, but with no extra innings, you'd really want to walk this baby off here. Next one's a called strike. And the Bucs bench up on their feet, up on the top step at least. So we were wondering if we would get to see a potential walk-off. What would it look like for a non-league game? But we can't get too far ahead of ourselves, especially with an 0-2 count to Hunsaker. Got a lot to do and work with, and barely gets a piece of that. Almost fully missed it.
Yeah, didn't get much at all. Didn't hear anything. Just saw the ball get behind Bo Rico and wasn't acting like it was a pass ball or anything like that. But for Hunsaker, doing everything he can to stay alive. These Bucs don't want to tie; they want to win.
Yeah, and speaking of staying alive, that rally cap was almost not staying alive there as Halverson had to take a seat back down and get it uh, fixed up by, looks like Max Ross over there who's helping him out, and he has to sit down. Unfortunately, he can't stand up. It looks like we got about 10 to 15 hats on him at least.
Receiving word that we've got rally caps as far away as Atlanta.
Love to hear it. Hunsaker, an 0-2 count still. Mark's trying to retire him. The pitch swung on and missed. He got him for strike 3. And unfortunately, despite this being the last game, it looks like that is going to be it for this non-league game. Rich Price, the head coach for the Glacier Pilots, will meet with Bill Springman. And it looks like that's going to be it for the ball game. So unfortunately, it ends in a tie. But great to see the Bucs come back and at least make it interesting there in the ninth. So the final score is 2-2. We end in a tie once again. We'll take a little bit of a break. We'll bring you the totals after this. Welcome back. Unfortunate news. No win tonight for the Bucs, but a better news, they didn't lose.
Yeah,
so that's a good thing.
The streak of not losing continues.
Yes, love to hear it. But this is a non-league game, so this one does not count towards the record. But a good showing from the Bucs. The pitching was outstanding, and I think that is where we'll start. Chad Gurney came out, pitched really well. Rylan Hayter looked great as well. Jeremiah Arnett, and then Brody Purcell striking out the side. Just faced 3 batters.
All of them swinging too, so he was just able to beat them. His stuff was better than theirs, and we've seen great pitching from the Bucs all year, especially against these Pilots. First game, that 3-0 game, only 3 runs allowed. That staff would normally be happy with allowing 3 runs and should normally be enough to get the win. And then the 7-0 shutout win. And for the Pilots, even though they tied this game, still got to be questioning where those bats are.
Yeah.
They just can't scratch anything across coming into today. 2 runs in the last 4 games, a couple today in a 7-inning game, but I don't think that's enough for signs of encouragement if you're them.
Yeah, and playing devil's advocate, this pitching staff for the Bucs has looked really good. So it is tough to score runs off this Bucs pitching staff. But like you said, they have struggled to score runs, and especially against this Bucs team, they struggled today. And there wasn't a lot of loud hits. We had that 1 triple, but that was about it for the Pilots. And yeah, the Bucs bats weren't as much there as usual, but on the mound for the Pilots, Peyton Allen looked amazing. Zawistowski came in and looked really good. Marks obviously gave up that game-tying base hit, but he looked pretty sharp as well, and all their pitchers looked good. So we'll wrap this one up here quickly. Looking ahead, tomorrow the Bucs will be right back out here for their last non-league game for now. That will be at 12 o'clock start time. So a little bit earlier, especially if you're on the East Coast. That one definitely easy for you guys to make, as that will be 4 o'clock your time.
Yep.
That one is against the Chinooks, who come here to Mulcahy Stadium. As for the Pilots, they will play the Panners here. Fairbanks Panners, they're coming back. They've been here for this whole tournament. They'll
Mm-hmm.
play them right after us at 3 o'clock. So join their Facebook Live. I'm pretty sure they have it set up on their Pilots page on Facebook, so you can go listen to them. So definitely go do that after our game at noon. So we'll be the start, as we have been the nightcap here for the
Yep.
past 2 days. So once again, tomorrow at noon against the Chinooks, right back here on YouTube. Hopefully, there'll be no bumps in the road for our program. So final score, it's a tie at 2-2 for the Pilots. 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error. For the Bucs, 2 runs on 7 hits, also 1 error. Once again, for my partner, Will Hopkins, and for myself, Vic Massey, is saying so long and good night here in Anchorage.